All right. Welcome back for another wonderful episode of Meaningful Discussions. Today's episode is about keeping your promises. Those resolutions that we make to ourselves every year. Oh, I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna work out. We got to keep those promises to ourselves. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do our toast and get started. All right. Keep your promises.
Intellectuals from different fields, masters of their respective crafts, diagnose the enigma of society as they bond, grow, and laugh through the prescription of meaningful discussions.
All right. So a lot of times, I know I do it myself. A lot of times we make promises to ourselves at the top of the year because we have these, we have that energy going to a certain extent. Like, oh yeah, it's a new year, new me, new year, new me. And probably about 3 months in the line, you start seeing people vibe fall off. Then 6 months in the line, you start seeing it get worse. And then boom, they back to the same old BS.
Right.
And one thing I always hear is, you keep repeating the same thing, expecting different results is the definition of insanity.
Mm-hmm.
And we do it a lot. We do it when it comes down to voting. we do it to, it's so much stuff that we do that we keep ourselves in this weird repetition and we start complaining, but it starts with self. Right. You got to evaluate yourself and then you got to say, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. And you got to stick to it. Right. So today's topic is definitely strictly about that. Sticking to your guns, ways where you can stick to your promises, and not. I guess we got to get out of the way of letting ourselves down and being honest with ourselves. A lot of times we don't be honest with ourselves, and then when something happens, that's when the letdown happens.
Yep.
And that's when we begin to start feeling depression, the anxiety, all the other things, all the other words start to kick in slowly but surely, and it's hard for us to try to get out of that mindset. So today, I want to talk to you guys about keeping that promise. If your New Year's resolution is losing weight, if you say you want to work out, you say you want to save money, if you made plans of saying, all right, I'm gonna get a new car, whatever those things are that you say you want to do, I want to make sure that you stick to them because I want to stick to mine. But how do you do it? Well, we've been teaching each other as far as like on our journey, as far as building our friendship, is about the power of writing things down. Once you write things down, there's so much power that you put into that. So if you have something that you really want to do, I urge you to write it down. Write it down. If you want to lose weight, if you have a goal in mind that you want to knock out, okay, well, write it down. Don't keep it up here. Write it down because seeing it brings a whole new magic to something that you're actually doing.
Right.
Do you want to elaborate on the whole writing process?
Well, my whole thing is they taught us this in elementary school.
Yeah.
Journaling was something that they taught us, and we fall away from things that we call old-fashioned, which is the problem that I'm having. Because most people think that writing things down is so old-fashioned when you got technology, whatever, woo-de-woo. But the battery ain't gonna never die on the pen and pencil. So you can always write things down. And if your phone is your notepad and your battery dies and you have a great idea, if you ain't got the battery left to turn that phone on to open a notepad, that idea is probably going to flutter away. So definitely when it comes to journaling is important. And not just write things down when you think about it, but have a daily routine of even right before bed, writing down your thoughts, planning your next day's events or whatever, because that's the way of keeping track of these things that we promise ourselves. And when we write it down, if we don't get it done that day, it's not a big deal. You got to slow walk these things down. You can't expect to get so much done in a day, especially with the way life be lifing. Every day comes with a new set of activities that bring a new set of obstacles that then in turn become a new set of incomplete projects.
Every move that I make, it gets harder to breathe. Empire is dedicated to nurturing and promoting diverse talents across the entertainment industry, providing comprehensive support to artists to help them achieve their full potential.
You know, the first time I let you leave, I didn't know what I had. But if I get you back, this time I'll be so.
When you don't complete something, it doesn't mean that it's not able to be worked on the next day. So keeping track in a journal of all the things that you want to accomplish is very important because, for one, like he said, the power or connotation behind writing things down is already the first step into putting motion to your words, literally. So once you put motion behind something that you have in mind to do, then that already starts your avalanche of great things to come. So you've got to continue to journal and make sure it's a daily practice.
Mm-hmm. If you think about it, I mean, we all had fill out applications, get jobs, and everything. And if you notice, with every job, there's a manual, a training manual, right?
Mm-hmm.
That training manual is set in place for a reason. They don't train you by just telling you. Now, I mean, you got some janky places. However, in the business world, in the corporate world, when it's an actual efficient business, they give you a manual, they give you a guide to go by, they give you classes to go by. They train you, they give you verbal training, but they also give you actually hand-to-hand training as far as, like, one-on-one. All those things, they still have stuff where they write down. They encourage you to write things down. So if those jobs are encouraging you to write the things down so that you can be an expert for them, then why not do it for yourself?
Right.
It's basically like making a training manual for your life.
Right. And it's the best way of keeping yourself accountable for what you say you're going to do.
As simple as that. But you got to just start somewhere.
Yes.
Like we say, whatever it is that what your New Year's resolution is, whatever you decide that you want to do, that you want to tackle, write it down. Write it down, write it down, write it down. Every day, take a moment and look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Dream of yourself basically achieving that goal. So if you want to lose weight, okay, don't be afraid to look at yourself in the mirror every day. If it's a working out thing, if it's a beauty thing anyway, you got to make sure you look in the mirror, and write those things down. If it's a job situation, make sure that every day that you're tackling something to get you to that next level where you want to be at. If your goal is I want a promotion by the end of the year, okay, what are you doing to make sure that you can ensure that at the end of the year, when it's 12/31, you looking back and saying, I did this and I did that. And
so, with that being said, I want to say that your personal research is important. You got to write these things down, yes, but most of the times you aren't where you want to be because you don't know how to get there. And the only way to know how to get there is to research the steps and methods that are taken to get there. Because if you were already in your best place, you wouldn't need to want anything. But because you want something that you don't have and you've never done before, you've got to do your research and figure out how to get there. It makes no sense without the research behind it. Knowledge is power, and knowing is half the battle, G.I. Joe. So go ahead and make sure that you're doing the research to add to the notes that you've written in your journal of how you want to get to where you're going. It's just like not having an address in GPS and expecting it to tell you where to go. So you've got to back that up with the research. So slow walking it down, definitely, and make sure that you're doing realistic goals, okay? Yeah, you want to do this by the end of the year, but think about it. Is it realistic to say that you want that within 365 days?
Yeah.
You can't say you want to become a millionaire when millionaires that are millionaires didn't do it in a year.
Someone took their whole lifetime.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people are still working towards that. They've gotten to their first 1,000. Now they're working on their next 100,000, and then they got steps to get to where they want to go. You're not going to be able to do these extraordinary feats without realistic deadlines. So when you think about it, losing weight. You don't want to say you want to lose 100 pounds in a month. That's kind of exaggerated.
Unless you're gonna be doing crack.
Right. Or starving yourself. I don't know. But also when it comes to getting a raise at a job, you know, that comes first with seniority, and then there's a level of performance that they're going to want. And if you're really going to say that you're going to do these things, you've got to know what it's going to take to get you there. So journaling, slow walk it down, research, and then make the steps. You can't get there without those processes in place. You've got to take your time, and you've got to be real with yourself as to what you want and whether or not you're really willing to give the effort that it's going to take, because everything that we want in life is going to give you hell getting to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be easy by any measure. I don't care if it's just, I want to make sure I lose this weight, or I want to make sure I make this much money this year. Like, anything that you want to do is going to come with a lot of obstacles, and you've got to really know that you want that and that you're willing to put in the work to get there.
Mm-hmm. With that being said, man, that's all our time for this first episode. So I hope that you guys got a lot from this episode. And like we always say, if you like what you heard, like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna say it again: like, share, subscribe. I'm pretty sure for our old fans, you probably know how to follow us, but to anybody new that's chiming in, you can follow me at only the number 1 Avenue, AVANU.
And you can find me on all platforms with Shaq Daddy, ShackDaddie.
All right, we'll see you guys next time on Meaningful Discussions. Thank you.
The first time I let you leave, I didn't know what I had. But if I get you back, this time I'll be selfish. I need you all to myself, babe. This time I'll be selfish.